Hello, we are very pleased to welcome Leslie Nobles, who's going to talk to you about residence life. As Dr. Noble said to you, we are basically a park right now without the people. And Leslie is going to talk to you about the people and the living arrangements on campus. Thank you, Leslie.
Thank you so much, Laura. Good morning, everyone. As Laura mentioned, my name is Leslie Nobles, and I am the professional staff member that lives in and oversees the first year area in our first year residential community. I'm so excited to spend some time with you to share some information about our residential community at Southwestern. So let's dive in, let's get started. I first want to start by saying that Southwestern University is a residential campus. So from the moment that you become a pirate, you're going to notice that our entire Southwestern community works together to make every moment count. And there's proof that that works. So research shows that a residential community approach yields a higher GPA and a stronger transition to college than other campus approaches. So as a first year student, your residential community connects living and learning from the beginning. So every week, there are opportunities in all of our halls to engage in deep conversation, spaces to work with your classmates on group assignments or FYS assignments, and a variety of activities that will keep you on track academically. Our student staff will also plan social activities that will get you out of your room and allow you to meet other first year students. Let me just scroll through the window. So once you become a part of our residential community, you are an equal partner in the creation of your own experience and overall success at Southwestern. It's important to us that you feel at home, but also feel empowered to contribute to the community that you're a part of. So we provide the residence halls, the student staff, and the programmatic opportunities, but there is no community without you. First year students are what makes our first year residential community vibrant and active. You are going to have faculty and campus partners every day at your doorstep, and they're going to be there supporting you in your academic growth and also helping you develop those 21st century skills. Our first year team's primary responsibility is to help you adapt to community living during your time at Southwestern. Our team is comprised of a live-in professional who oversees the first year area, so that's me. We have residential student staff, so those are our head resident assistants, our resident assistants, and then the residential experience team. And so those are the people that work to connect our campus community to our residential community. Our resident assistants come from a variety of academic, social, and geographical backgrounds, and we've designed it that way because we know that our students are not all the same. So while RAs will also have an assigned group of residents, and you'll have an assigned RA, they work as building teams, and then they work as an entire first year area team to support all of our first year students throughout the year. We also fully recognize that living with 80 plus college students in such close proximity is a new adventure. So to help with that, we have community standards and values. Some you will get to set with your roommate and your suite mates, and then others are preset. Those big ones are what to bring to our residential community, what to leave at home. That entire list is on our Southwestern website on our department page, but the easiest example are pets. And then while we do not have a curfew, we do have set visitation hours and guidelines for your building guests. We also have courtesy hours and quiet hours to support recharging and studying. And then finally, we have no drugs and alcohol in our residential community at all. And we work to keep our environment incredibly safe and supportive for all of our first year students. So living in our first year community definitely is going to give you the skills that you need to navigate living on your own throughout college, and then once you graduate also. So the more that you engage with our residential community and residential experience programs, the stronger your skills are going to be. A large part of your on-campus living experience is going to be your roommate. So when it comes to roommates and housing assignments, we touch every housing application by hand. The housing application is an essential part of your housing assignment and our roommate matching process. So our professional staff look at your living preferences, your values, your interests that you have indicated on that application, and we work to find someone that complements those. So housing assignments are made based upon your application completion date. So that's really important to know. It's important also that you fill out the housing application thoroughly and honestly so that we can find you the best match. So if you are not a morning person, or there's a slight chance that you're not going to be a morning person when you come to Southwestern, don't check that box on the housing application. If you are not a person that can keep your room clean without an additional human to help you do that, it's best that you don't check the neat button on your housing application. That housing application is also going to allow you to indicate your preference for a single gender hall or to include a specific name of a roommate if you have one in mind. Our housing assignments and roommate information usually go out in June, and those are going to be emailed to your Southwestern email account. It's important that you begin checking that Southwestern email regularly because that's where all of your official university communication is going to come from. And we don't want you to miss out on anything important like your housing application, FYS information, important financial aid or registration information. So it's important that you start checking that regularly and often once you join us as a pirate. So let's talk about residence halls. So we have 4 residence halls dedicated to our first year students. So Brown, Cody, Mabee, and Perth are located on the east side of campus. So those are close to the Robinson Center, Fine Arts Building, and Prothro. And then we have Reuter Hall, and that's our all-male hall located on the west side of campus, closest to the dining hall in McCombs Campus Center. All of our buildings require pirate card access for entry and have laundry facilities, vending machines, and then all have access to a community kitchen. I want to invite you to take some time after this panel session and look at the virtual tour on the Southwestern virtual page right next to the admissions website so that you can see personally what makes each residential building unique. We're also often asked if packages go directly to the residence halls, and that answer is no. So packages go to our campus post office in the McCombs Campus Center, and any perishable deliveries, so if you get a Tips Treats delivery, if you get flowers, if you get baked goods sent to you, those go to our Student Life office so that you can get those that same day. And so again, anytime that you have a package, that's going to come through your Southwestern email. So I really want to reiterate that it's important to start checking that email so that you don't miss the good stuff. Let's wrap up talking about board plans. So you've probably often heard the term meal plan, but the meal plan piece is just a part of that. So our board plans provide you the ability to choose not just your dining experience, but how you navigate the rest of those small pieces in your residential experience. So that means your board plan is going to include meals, dining dollars, and pirate bucks. So the meals are used in the Commons for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and the dining dollars are accepted either in the Commons or in the Cove, which is our grab and go grill. And then pirate bucks are used for vending, printing, and laundry. And so again, there are laundry facilities in every residence hall. And so all of those are able to be reloaded either in person in stations on campus or online. So I wanted to just leave a good chunk of time for you all to ask questions, but thank you so much for letting me share quickly some information about our residential community. Please, please, please take some time to take that virtual tour. And then if you ever have questions, we are available via email at reslife@southwestern.edu, or you can give us a call at 512-863-1624. Thank you.
So Leslie, we do have a question about when they are notified of their roommate. So could you go over that again, please?
Okay, yeah. So we usually work to get those out early to mid-June. And so that email will say, congratulations, you have been assigned to this hall and this is your roommate, and it will have their Southwestern University contact information, and you can start making that connection instantly, planning what you want your room to look like, what your space to look like, and have those conversations. So usually that week goes out in June.
Excellent. We do still have our students on, and so I was going to ask Giselle. I know it's going back a couple years, Giselle, for you as a senior, but could you please talk about your residential experience at Southwestern?
Hi, yeah, for sure. So I am a senior, so it's kind of a way back, and things used to be a little bit different, especially combined with the first year seminar. So actually before, everyone that lived near you also went to the same first year seminar. And so I personally really enjoyed that. I got to know all of my suite mates that way and the people that I lived near. And so we built like a great community. So I lived in Brown Cody, and that's a co-ed residence hall. And what that means is that like you still share your suite with the same sex, but then someone from the opposite sex could live like in front of you or next to you, but you don't share any of that space. Another great thing is I didn't know anyone going into Southwestern, so I got assigned a random roommate, and I can attest to the fact that survey that you put your preferences in is so important. I was as honest as it could be. I'm a total night owl, and I ended up getting paired with like the perfect person. We complemented each other very well, had very similar schedules, and I personally never had any problems living with someone that I didn't know. And that person, Taylor, actually ended up being like my best friend, and lived together again our sophomore year. And so my residence life experience is really great that I didn't want to leave after my 2-year requirements. So I stayed living on campus all my 4 years.
Great, thank you, Giselle. Alicia, can you talk about your experience, and can you elaborate on pirate bucks? There's been a question about that and the meal plans.
Sure. So we have 4 residence halls on campus. We have 2 that are co-ed, 1 that's all male, and 1 that's all female. I lived in the all-female residence hall for first years. It's called Kurth. I loved living there. I also had a really good experience with my roommate. You fill out a form about what your interests are, what personality traits you have, and what you're looking for in your ideal roommate. And so the Office of Residence Life matched me with someone based off of that. She and I actually did end up having really similar personalities, and we got along super well. We're still friends even now. She's actually my sorority sister, and so we were pretty much a perfect match, and I had a really good experience. But if you ever do have issues with your roommate, we do have 1 to 2 resident assistants or RAs for every floor. And so you can go to them if you're having a problem with, I ended up not having to go to my RA, but that resource is there if you do need it. As far as the meal plans go, there are different stations in the Commons, which is our cafeteria. So there's a deli, a grill, a pizza bar, a salad bar, and ice cream machine. It's open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner during the week, and then brunch and dinner during the weekends. There's a menu on a TV screen that's by the registers you can check, but they also have the menu online if you want to check ahead of time. The way they break down your meal plan is they break it down by week. So the standard is that you'll get 12 meals a week, but you can increase that to 15 or decrease it to 9, just depending on how often you think you'll be eating there any given week. And then you can just kind of go there whenever you like for breakfast or lunch. Although not a lot of people necessarily go there for Monday lunch, because we have something called church lunch that's popular with a lot of students. Crestview Baptist Church is a church that's about a 10-minute drive from campus, and they actually make lunch for us every single week. So we'll have students as well as faculty and staff who go to Crestview. There's usually about 800 people or so who go every Monday. You don't have to pay anything. You don't have to show your ID. You can just walk right in and they'll serve you. So that's something that's really popular that they started doing a few years ago. But anytime there's not church lunch, people usually go to the Commons.
Thanks, Alicia. We appreciate that. Leslie, we have a couple more questions about just the deadlines again and the application process. So could you please go over that one more time?
Sure. So we have started accepting housing applications, but we take those as they come. So right now, we ask that you get that in as soon as you make your deposit and then as quickly as you can, because we do assign our buildings based on the application completion date. And then we'll start that matching process, and then the bulk of those will go out in June. So the sooner that you get that housing application in, the better. If for some reason there's something that you need to change, the best thing to do is just email us so that you don't have to go back in the system, mess with your application. Just send us an email. We can change it on our end. And then I also wanted to share a little bit more about some cool things and changes that are happening in our residential communities. So while FYS is not linked to your housing assignment anymore, we have opportunities for faculty, FYS faculty, to come in and they'll host a class or screen some sort of video or have a class discussion in your residence hall. So you'll still have opportunities to see people that are in your FYS class in your residential community. And then we also have an orientation experience that will connect you with people who are living close to you and your RA. And so your RA is going to be that big connecting piece to get you acclimated and familiarized and make those connections on your floor. And then your FYS is going to be that additional group of people that may live in a different residence hall than you, but you'll still get to see them in the residential community, and you'll just be able to grow your acquaintance and friend and pirate network really quickly when you first get here. Also, I wanted to share a little bit about Brown Cody, Kurth, and Mabee. So those are, like I said, on our east side of campus. They are all suite style living. I think Giselle mentioned a little bit about that. The thing about those is we have the creativity to do what we need with those spaces to accommodate the first year student population. So Kurth has been for the past couple of years an all female residence hall, but at one point Brown Cody had to have more females in it because of just the needs of the first year student population. So that suite style living allows us just to accommodate the first year class that's coming in. And then Reuter is a unique community. It is all male. It is closer to the dining facility, so a lot of our first year guys love that. And then it has a different community feel. It's got shared bathrooms, a community style bathroom, but that has one of the strongest communities of men that I have seen in my first year residence life for 4 or 5 years. So each building in our first year residential community is going to have a very cool vibe, but then all of you come together as a community and you create that first year residential community. So yes, we provide those buildings, we have the suite style, we have the FYS connections, but it's up to you once you get here to craft that experience. And I know that's kind of off the road from deadlines, but I just wanted to make sure that you have that incentive to really get your housing application in and say, I want to be a part of this residential community. I want to connect with other students. I want to meet my RA, because I can tell you now, we've already hired them and they're already ready. They are so ready to meet you all. And so again, with those deadlines, the sooner that you get those in, the better. And we do building assignments based on housing completion or the application completion date.
Great, Leslie, thank you. We do have a question about transfer students, if they need to live on campus.
So we have worked to get all of our transfer students on campus. Every year, I think that changes based on age, stage, and need of our transfer students. This year, our transfer students are living on campus, and we will house you with those who are in your graduation class year, your academic college year. And so we had transfer students, first year transfer students that came this spring, and they stayed in our first year residence halls. And then we had some sophomore and junior transfer students who stayed in their residential communities. So our goal is to get everyone on campus, to find that best fit for you if you're a transfer student. So I would expect to live on campus.
Fantastic. Can you talk about some of the programming that occurs in the residence halls in order to form community?
Sure. So we have a whole variety of programming. So I'll talk a little bit about the residential experience programming. That is a new initiative that was rolled out this year, and it is aligned with a Mosaic framework that our campus uses. And so you'll have different series of programs, and some of them may seem silly, like how to do your laundry, how to clean your bathroom, but I promise you, as a first-year college human, it is something that you're going to need. If you don't need to turn your clothes red or pink, then there's no need to do that. So we have those types of programs that really give you those life skills. Those are called college hack programs. We also will have different roundtable discussions with the Office of Diversity Affairs and CDSJ, which is our student diversity group. We will have different community partners come in. So Capital One came in and talked about budgeting. We'll always have dinner at those things. We'll also have student involvement fairs. We'll have a small version for those students who are just not ready to take on that massive student involvement fair in the fall. We'll have a small intimate one in the fall and then also one in the spring. And so we open up that first year complex in Reuter to have you move through those buildings programmatically. So one night there might be a planner party with the peer mentors in the Kurth Lounge, but that's open for every first year student. And the next night you might see a discussion for your FYS class, and it's held in Brown County. And so if you don't live in Brown County, it doesn't matter. If your first year seminar is meeting there, that's where you'll go. We also do things that are just social in nature, very centered into targeting your self-care and balance, and to just kind of step away from your academics. So anything as small as a bachelor marathon. This year, the students really loved to sit in front of the giant TV in Kurth and watch The Bachelor with their RAs. We have movie nights, they'll do game nights. But what's really awesome about the RA programming is that the residents kind of drive that. So your RA on a regular basis is asking, what is it that you're wanting to see? What are your interests? What do you like to do? They'll also occasionally take you, you'll meet as a group in a residence hall and you'll walk to an event on campus. So if you are interested in going to an FNL but don't want to go alone, your RA may get a group of you and walk you together, and then that's an instant connection from your residential community to your campus community. We keep growing this residential experience program and the RA programming, but you all as students, you drive all of this programmatic energy and this approach. We bring a framework and structure, but we on a regular basis are checking in with you saying, what are you not getting in your residential experience? What are you missing? What do you want to see more of? Is there a faculty member that you absolutely enjoy their classes and you want to bring them in the residence hall? The residential experience will work to do that. The RAs will work to do that. There's always food in the residence halls. We encourage you to eat in Sodexo in the commons and use your meal plan by all means, but for those extra snacks that you're needing, extra meals that you're needing, the residential experience and RA programs always have those available. So there's always something to do in the residence halls, and it's just right outside your door.
Fantastic. Thank you, Leslie. One last question. I know there are some others on here and we will answer those in the chat. However, can you talk about Welcome Week as we wrap up? So we're looking forward to August 15th for move-in day. So can you please explain Welcome Week?
Sure, I will explain all of the components that I can, especially from the residential standpoint. So on move-in day, you are given a assigned time slot, and it works like a well-oiled machine. So you pack all of your things, you label them, you put them in your car, your truck, your tiny U-Haul. Please don't bring large U-Hauls. You won't need them. And you bring all of that stuff, and there are athletes waiting to unload your things, and they will take them to your room. When you get out of that car, it is your first time to say, I am a college student, and I'm going to go get my key. I'm going to meet my RA, and my RA is going to show me where my room is. You will have that whole entire time block to unpack your room, meet your roommate, organize your room, grab any other supplies that you're needing, and then we'll start diving into some residence hall related programming. You'll have some floor meetings with your RA, so you'll get to see who's on your floor, learn a little bit more about our policies and how to keep you safe, but how to navigate the residence halls. And then from there, you'll go into orientation activities. This past welcome week, it was full of pirate training. And so those were really high energy at times, team building, opportunities that really just got you to have a sense of pirate pride, but also a sense of residence pride, like residential community pride. And the RAs get really into that too. So you'll see them dress up, you'll see them be your cheerleader through all of the activities. And then there's also some low key things and some things that are not high energy, because we know that some students like to recharge. And they're going to need that when they're getting adjusted to college in a new environment. So that might be something as small as the game night, or just giving you some space in your residence hall to set up your room, and your RA may come and chat with you one-on-one. But welcome week is that week that you're going to get acclimated to community living. You'll be setting up your roommate contracts. You'll be getting to know your suite mates and making those arrangements on how you're going to keep your space clean. You'll be going to all these activities. You'll have some sessions that you'll attend. And then you'll also be in your FYS class. And so that first week is just really getting you immersed into college living, getting you just used to living with a group of other students that are going through the same thing. It is a great time. I'm a part of the action too. I live in Brown Cody. I'm on call 24/7, 24/5 for the most part. And so we are like a family. So once you get there, welcome week is when it starts.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Leslie. We appreciate your time and all your expertise, and enjoy the rest of your day. We're going to have a brief intermission, and then we will talk about first year seminar. Thank you so much.